every dollar has to have a job, and here are the jobs I give to my dollars, not including that I have to pay taxes, because if it was up to me, I wouldn't pay taxes on my work income. But here it goes. Step 1, I tithe 10% of my net profit from every paycheck, because I believe that having God as your associate and your business partner helps you the most. Because I have been tithing for around 5 years now, and thankfully I've had a check every single month for those past 5 years, and I owe it because I haven't withhold my tithe from God, and He has blessed me financially through all that time. Second thing I do is pay for my insurances: health insurance, life insurance, accident insurance, legal insurance. I pay for insurance because you never really know what will happen, so you should be covered just in case the worst of the worst happens and you are disabled for a long time, or God forbid you die and you leave bills to your loved ones. That's what life insurance is for. So second is insurances. Third thing I do is to save 20% of my income. I started saving 20% of my income in a high yield savings account like Marcus by Goldman Sachs, because in the Bible there's a story about Joseph and how he saved Egypt and all the surrounding countries around Egypt in ancient times by saving 20% of the grain offering that Egypt had during the 7 years of plenty, and then during the 7 years of famine they were able to eat from that grain harvest. So, as they say, make hay while the sun's out. And we've all heard the story of the grasshopper and the ant. So next thing I do is I put away $75 to my debt snowball payment plan. I have a 0% interest credit card that I am saving $75 every 2 weeks for 1 year, so I can pay it off in full before the introductory 0% APR period runs out in a high yield savings account, so that way I can make money on the spread. So since I am getting 0% money and putting it in a 3.5% high yield savings account, I'm making a 3.5% spread on my money. Not a lot, but with the points also that I get from the credit card, it adds up. So it's a couple of extra bucks. Fourth thing I do is pay down my credit card, or credit cards I should say. I try to hold a 0% balance, a $0 balance on my high interest credit cards, and the one with the 0% interest, I try to give around 15% of my of my paycheck, so that I can keep using it to spend money. Next up, I spend 5% of my paycheck on Bitcoin. I just dollar cost average into Bitcoin, because if it keeps growing at 30% APY, I'll be able to retire maybe in like 7 years per the Bitcoin retirement calculator that I've used in the calculations. Next up after that is I calculate how much money I have left over, and I set up a $1 $1.25 buy on IBIT, SPLG, SCHD, and SCHG in my Fidelity account for every market day that it's open in the stock market. And I spend $35 a week on Bitcoin so I can stack more sats. And with the remaining money, I just let it accumulate, or I use it to buy food and pay for rent. And yeah, that's how I allocate my money. So you should have a plan, because or else you'll most likely always be out of money if you don't assign a job to every single dollar you have. All right, until next one, peace.